will not be enrolled in ARC or PLC for the 2021 crop year and will be ineligible to receive a payment should one trigger for an eligible crop. For more information about ARC and PLC, contact your local USDA Service Center.
Winter break is coming to an end for cattle parasites, so start your parasite fight now. With Safeguard feed formulations, keeping up that fight is easier than ever. Available in blocks, cubes, pellets, or free choice mineral, Safeguard feed formulations are the convenient, labor-saving way to deworm cattle on grass. Simply add it to your current feed and mineral program. No processing, no shoot, no added stress. Remember to consult your veterinarian for assistance in the diagnosis, treatment, and control of parasitism.
For generations, we've worked the land. We've faced hardships and uncertainty before, but you can depend on Florida's farmers. We will continue to rise before dawn and harvest our crops, ensuring that Florida-grown fruits and vegetables are in your stores and that your family is fed. We are providers for our families and yours. We're Florida's farmers, and we're in this together.
Randall Wiseman, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be partly sunny with a high of 75 to 79. Clear skies tonight, low 56 to 63. Then Thursday and Friday both will be mostly sunny and pleasant. High on Thursday, 78 to 81. High on Friday, 80 to 83. Sunny to partly cloudy skies on Saturday, high 81 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club-style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Tuesday, oh wait, it's Wednesday. Good Wednesday morning. Hump day. Welcome to Ocala Talks. I am Tom Schmitz. Back off the injury list. If you tuned in yesterday, thanks to all the people who sent me texts going, what the hell's going on? I guess more people than just me and my buddy who's on the phone lines with us, brought to you by Penn Flooring and Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. More people than just you and I listen to the show, Galen. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Tom. How are you? I'm glad you're back.
I'm not back. I'm just standing. My back is still not good. Still not good. For those who don't know, yesterday I woke up, stepped in the shower, bent down to get some shampoo in my hand, and missed the rest of the day. We'll just leave it at that.
I guess you're just listed as day-to-day on the injury report.
I am. I'm a game-time decision.
But then again, aren't we all?
100%. I don't know. I've had a lot of pain in my life. That lower back spasm pain may be the worst I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Because once you're down there, it hurt. Once you're down there, then you have to straighten your back to get back up, and that's where the pain is straightening your back to get back up.
It just sounds awful.
It's not fun.
Yeah.
It is not fun, and it's one of those things that one day it'll hit you, and then the next day, like this morning, I got out of the bed, walked around, found it's a little tender still, but, nothing like yesterday. And I did nothing different today than I did yesterday.
Obviously, it's the style of shampoo you are using or something.
No, used the same shampoo this morning.
That's too bad. Well, I haven't shampooed in at least a decade. So I'm not familiar
But
with your problem.
my fiance did move the shampoo up to a shelf instead of down on the shower floor. So,
So you're blaming her?
No, it's my fault. I wasn't
sure.
I'm very capable of putting the shampoo on the shelf myself. I just was, it got put on the floor of the shower. I'm lazy. I was good with it there.
All right.
No, it's completely my fault. Oh, and by the way,
just make it
even if she did make the decision to put the shampoo on the shower floor, I made the decision to eat so much that my back's like, look, you're 250 pounds. Look, I'm designed to carry 250 pounds, not 290 pounds.
I'm with you.
My back's like a ladder. Look, we're only rated for 250 pounds with this backbone.
I got you. That's a realistic expectation of your back.
The thing is, if I just leave the Little Debbie's oatmeal pies alone, I'd probably be safe.
And those are good, aren't they?
They really are. I mean,
every time, it's a flashback to my childhood.
Immediately, it just takes you right back, doesn't it?
There were 4 kids in my house, all within like 4 years of the same age. So, my mom would bring home. We had a junk drawer, and it was really for my dad. And if we were caught in it, we would be, harshly punished by my father. And then my mom would give us one a day, basically. But those little oatmeal pies were the best thing on the planet. Oh.
The oatmeal pies are great. And my other favorite, the Swiss.
And a glass of Kool-Aid, a glass of way too sweetened red Kool-Aid with a little bit of the lemonade packet inside is as good as life got at the age of about 11.
Oh, yeah. Oh, especially on a hot summer day, you get the oatmeal pie and a glass of cold Kool-Aid. Wow.
I remember we had to keep the Kool-Aid in the refrigerator because we didn't ever have ice. Because if you had ice, they have the ice trays. And the worst part of the ice trays is you had to fill them up if you used them.
Oh, they were terrible. Terrible.
Right?
That 10 seconds that 10 seconds could shape your life.
Well, you have to be coordinated enough to fill it up and then to put it in the freezer without spilling water all over the floor. Because by God, there was no way you were wiping that up.
Oh, wait a minute. Or what about this? I would always spill a little water in the bottom in the freezer and then set the ice tray down in the little water you spilled. Then the ice tray freezes to the freezer.
Correct. Yeah. I will tell you, my brother Eric got the beating because he spilled water by doing that, and he used the dog to wipe it up. It's a true story. So
that's no good.
I wonder if you remember that.
Well,
that's there you go.
We had the rule in our house. There were 4 ice trays. And there was an ice bin, like a little ice container. It was really a big Tupperware bowl, but it was
room for one of those in there.
It was really a Tupperware bowl, but it was it was called an ice bin. And the rule was if you cracked one tray, you cracked all 4.
Yeah. See that's why you just stick the Kool-Aid in the refrigerator and you just leave it. And and the ice was not a thing that we had much in our house. It was just there's ice, but what's wrong with this water? You are not worth me doing all that work.
That's why I always loved when we had like big dinners, like we'd have Easter dinner, or we'd have my dad would throw Sunday cookouts once or twice a month, and we would have people over for Christmas dinner. I always loved those dinners because I knew people were bringing bags of ice, and I wouldn't have to mess with the ice trays.
Wow. That's next level. Do you remember before they went to the plastic flexible one that you could crack? They had the handle on it, and you had to pop it.
Hello.
Right?
And the handle and the thing came out of the metal tray that it sat in. And my mom, one day, one of those, she got frustrated or something in the kitchen. I don't remember exactly what happened. I was like 4 years old. And she ripped that out of the ice tray and slung the handle and the ice, the thing that made the ice cubes, slung it on the ground behind her. Unbeknownst to her, I'm right behind her. It almost takes my big toe slap off. Took 9 stitches to sew my toe back on.
Yeah, it was like razor blades.
They were. They were the worst.
And you had to be pretty strong to pop that thing open.
Oh yeah.
Because you couldn't. You had to get water in the joint, right? I mean, engineering flaws galore. floor, and it would freeze around there, and only my dad could open it. So, now we have an ice maker that makes the big block of ice for your cocktail.
And of course,
I mean, we have come a long way.
And then, of course, my dad would say after the metal ones went away and the plastic ones started. And see, my mom sold Tupperware, so we got the plastic ones a little quicker than everybody else because Tupperware sold them. And we went to the plastic ones, and about 9 months in, they start breaking. Because they freeze so many times and then they get brittle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they start to break, and my dad goes, "Well, the metal trays would have never done this."
In today's dollars, those plastic trays were probably like $25.
They were like $25 in today's dollars. Back then, you could buy a set of 4 for like $6, $8. But this was the early 70s.
That was a lot of money.
That was a lot of money.
Yeah.
It was a lot of money.
That's hilarious.
People forget it wasn't that long ago. It was in the 70s, 40 some odd years ago. When you could still go with $1 to the convenience store and load up on some candy. I mean, load up.
A gallon of gas. You could get a gallon of gas, a drink, and a Reese's peanut butter cup or something.
What was the cheapest?
Now gas is over $3.
Thanks, Joe Biden.
It's gonna be hitting $4 here soon.
Thanks, Kamala Harris.
This is unbelievable. Makes no sense in 2 months the gas price go up that, but that's
it makes perfect sense. It's called inauguration day.
I got a Tupperware story.
Okay.
For you. So my neighbor and I he's got a bunch of paint and it's in different cans and he doesn't want to throw it in the dump in his trash. So he takes it to the landfill and we're unloading this cart that he has and there's paint in this Tupperware and I hand this piece of Tupperware and paint in it to the guy and I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to need that Tupperware back." and the guy's face was like, and he was old enough. He was like my age. He was old enough to realize that I really might want that Tupperware back.
Oh yeah.
And that had a flash of memories because you remember every piece of Tupperware you had your name on it.
100%. I remember my mom would look at my aunt and go, "I'm going to send this home with you, some food home with you, but I better get my Tupperware back." I mean, it was like a threat, like she would fight you.
That's right.
Hey, Galen, hold on. Well, this usually doesn't happen, but we got a call. Let's take this. I think you'll be able to hear it. Hello, caller. You're on with Galen and Tom on Ocala Talks.
Tom?
Yeah.
Hey, good morning, Tom. Mike McCoy.
Hey, Mike. How are you?
I'm glad to hear you back, man. I was wondering what happened to you yesterday. I thought maybe you got deported back to Georgia.
Be so lucky.
Tom, you guys are reminiscing about the old days. I remember my mama give me $3 and I could go to the store. I could get, a dozen of eggs, a gallon of milk, a loaf of bread, a pound of bacon. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, Mike, but you're like 96 or 97. Come on now.
Hey, too damn many security cameras.
Too many security cameras.
Right.
Thanks for the call, Mike. Thanks for the call. He makes a valid point about too many security cameras nowadays, Galen. When was it, Galen? Be honest.
Yeah.
And now, are your parents still both alive?
My mom is, yeah.
Okay, so we got to proceed with caution in case she doesn't listen, though, right?
She's heard every story, every bad thing.
Okay, good. When was the first time, if ever, and don't lie, that you shoplifted?
It's pretty easy because we got caught. So me and my two cousins who came to live with us are really my brothers, Brian and Eric. And so back in the day, we would ride our bikes all over town. And so we noticed on one of these cars, they had the chrome stem caps.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're like, oh, that's cool. And so we spent the rest of the day patrolling the parking lot at the 40 East Publix for these chrome stem caps. We used to call them chromies. And we probably had 100 of them. And we came home.
What were you going to do with them?
We had them. I don't know. you know, you're thinking way too far ahead for like an 11 or a 12-year-old.
So
and
you
we
go
came
home
and we had them we put them on the table, and my mom's like, "What are these?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we found these." My mom's not a stupid woman. She goes, "Well, where did you find them?" "At Publix." And she's like, "Publix doesn't sell these." And I'm like, "No, we found them in the parking lot." So she figured out that we stole them. And she brought us back to the manager of the store with all of these chromies. And she said, "My sons took these from your customers' cars, and we had to stand outside, and if anybody came and they were all messed up, and tried to return them to people." That was terrible. That'll teach you.
I have a shoplifting story. I only did it once, and I got caught as well. I'll tell you about that after the break, because mine at least I had a understanding of why I was doing it, not just because they looked shiny and cool. I'll tell you about that next. You're listening.
Okay.
You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Well, hello there. Danny Boy here. Now, I've been suffering from some bad luck lately. I've been sick and weak, and I've even been falling down, don't you know? But now I've got the luck of the Irish. I'm choosing Palm Garden for my rehab. I might not find that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but I'm lucky to be getting back to my health. With a little help from Palm Garden will get me back home really, really fast. Visit Palm Garden, located at the corner of Southwest 27th Avenue and 34th Street, right here in Ocala, don't you know?
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. Galen, you know, on the phone with us. Brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. They're located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions how Palm Gardens is handling the COVID-19 pandemic, give them a call, 352-854-6262. Also Galen's brought to you by Penn Flooring, family-owned and operated, serving Marion County for over 30-plus years. They are a full-service flooring company. They do both commercial and residential. Go see their showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street here in Ocala, or give them a call at 352-351-3420. Back out to Galen, you know, on the phone lines. Galen, we were talking about your first experience at shoplifting. Mine was, I was about 8, 9 years old. Probably not, closer to 9. Right in the third, fourth grade.
Is this an Oliver Twist type story?
No.
Sorry, sir, I was hungry.
No, it was, it did involve eating, but no, it was not that kind of deal. So, you remember the Lionel train tracks? Remember when we were kids, if you had a buddy that had like a piece of plywood with a nice train track on it, you could go spend some time over there watching his train run around in circles. Well, I didn't have a 4x8 plywood train track. I had an 8x16. I had 4 pieces of plywood. Oh, yeah.
Wow, all right, big dog.
I had mountains.
Yeah, that. By the way, that's right up there with your remote start Cadillac.
It's 100%. I had mountains. I had tunnels you could go through.
Wow.
Well, my dad was a big train guy, too. My dad liked trains, so we went and put this train thing together so him and I could spend hours out in the garage. That's where it was set up on some hobby horses and everything.
You had a garage.
Oh, wow. It's fantastic. We built this platform out of 2x4s and everything, put the plywood on it and everything. So my dad had sent her on a mission to Kmart, because back then you could buy Lionel train track at Kmart. You know, Kmart, for people that don't remember, in the 70s, Kmart was the place everybody shopped. It was the Walmart of the day. And it carried everything.
That's a fair assessment.
Right, and it carried everything.
The Walmart of the day.
Right.
Except no food, obviously.
No food.
Yeah.
They had food aisles.
They had a deli. They had a food aisle, but it was like long-term storage.
And it was also the place you could go get ices, and you could get ice cream and hot dogs from their snack bar.
Their ices and their hot dogs were as good as life got.
As good as it got in the world. So we're in Kmart, and the candy aisle and the children's toy aisle. The candy aisle's aisle 8. The children, I don't know if this is right, but number-wise, but it was like aisle 8. And then the children's toy aisle where the train track was aisle 9. So they were just across the shelf from each other. You understand what I'm saying? So my sister is on the aisle with my mom, and when we always walked in stores, it was always hands in your pockets, don't touch nothing, or I'll beat the hell out of you. That was our instruction.
Sounds right.
So my mom goes, "Where'd your brother go?" And now I can hear this going on in the next aisle. I don't know, Mom, he just walked off. She goes, "Go find your brother." So my sister comes around the aisle, and she sees me. And I don't see her, but I'm hearing this. I'm looking at the other end, so I don't see her. So I'm stuffing as fast as I can stuff, because I went over to the candy aisle and ripped open a bag of circus peanuts. You know, the orange marshmallow candy peanuts?
Those things are terrible.
Oh, they're horrible. But to a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old, they were fantastic.
Oh.
And
is that really worth the beating?
I'm stuffing them as fast as I can go. I look like a chipmunk saving for winter. I mean, I look like Augustus. I look like Augustus Gloop drinking out of the chocolate river. You know what I'm saying? For those of you that don't get that reference, that's your fault, not my fault. Okay?
That's right.
So I'm like Augustus Gloop drinking out of the chocolate river. And my sister, instead of saying, "Hey, Mom's looking for you, you need to quit that and get back over here," my sister goes and says, "Mom, Tommy's in the next aisle stealing candy."
Oh.
Now, this is my 15-year-old sister.
Oh, yeah, she knew better.
This isn't my 6-year-old sister snitching me out. This is my 15-year-old sister snitching me out.
Look, she was free of pain for being a 15-year-old and doing something wrong.
Thank you.
For at least a solid month, because you were the worst child.
Oh, that's why she did it. So my mom comes around the aisle.
Survival of the fittest.
My mom comes around the aisle. She sees me and she goes, "You little," and then I can't use the word she used, but remember, Italian woman, you figured out.
Yeah.
She comes and grabs me by the arm. And she's got a piece of straight train track in her hand, because you got to make sure the train track all fits. You know what I mean? And she starts wailing away on me on my rear end. "You little thief, you little," and all kind of conniving, all kind of things, as she's beating me with this train track. So a lady walks up and goes, "Lady, that's child abuse." My mom, without missing a beat, looked right at her and go, "And if you don't walk the hell away, it's fixing to be adult abuse."
Yeah. You couldn't get away with that today, but back in the day, it's like, well, I'm sure he deserves it.
And then she takes me up front to the manager, makes me apologize to the manager, and then makes the manager say, "Tommy Schmitz up here at the manager's booth has been caught stealing candy." The manager says that on the loudspeaker.
Absolutely. That's and guess what? You learned.
Let me tell you something. Never, ever in my life did I think about shoplifting ever again.
No, and again, I think that's important. You know, I think a little embarrassment goes a long way.
And that wasn't a little embarrassment. I was mortified.
No, it was not.
Mortified.
Yeah, I mean, you're at Kmart. How many of your friends were there?
Oh, a bunch of them. It's a blue light special, baby. You know how that is.
By the way, you know, I was talking about this to somebody a couple of weeks ago. If the blue light came on,
you went running.
No matter what you were doing.
No, you dropped it and took off.
You're like, well, let's go see what it is.
Look, you could, as a kid.
And nine times out of 10, you bought it. You had enough money.
As a kid, on Blue Light Special today, women's sanitary napkins. You would run and go see what that was.
Correct.
It didn't bother you. You didn't know what a woman's sanitary napkin was, but it was on Blue Light Special. You had to go find out.
It was great, you know, and I think that's I don't really know what happened to Kmart other than Walmart moved into town, and they had a better job of marketing. But the blue light special was next level.
Remember
remember Walmart tried to do it with their rollback?
Yeah, with the rollback, that didn't work.
Not the same.
Do you remember? You remember? And it was a little push cart that they would push around and relocate the blue light all throughout the store.
Correct. It was fantastic.
It was like you were on a mission. It was like you were on a mission to find the light.
And they didn't tell you what they were selling. They just told you where it was located.
Right.
So you had to go look.
Yeah.
You had to go look.
Blue light special now in aisle 32, and you had no idea what for.
Yeah, right. You had to go, and most of the time you're like, well, this sounds like a good deal. It sounds like a really good deal. It's
My
blue
dad,
light special, honey.
My dad, one time at a blue light special, my mom, I thought she was going to kill him when he got home. He brought home in a blue light special 24 bottles of Pine Sol. She looks at that, she goes, what? I'm not cleaning the house good enough for you?
Oh, yeah.
No, honey, no, it was on blue light special. No. Are you talking about my abilities to clean the house? It had nothing to do with this was blue light special, good deal. To her, it was immediately, I'm not cleaning the house good enough for you?
Yeah, that's well, yeah, you're a married person now, almost. You understand that. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
The blue light special. That is something. Granted, there's no Kmart's left, but they could like send out a text message right now and say blue light special on this corner, and they'd have 100 people.
I'd leave the radio station right now. It'd be dead air. Dead air. Hey, Galen, I got to hold you over because I still got things I need to talk to you about.
All right.
You're listening to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. Hey. Blue light special today at the Paddock Mall. I don't know where. It's just going to be a blue light. Go find it.
It's not at Sears.
Not at Sears. WOCA, the source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
The Democrats are claiming the coronavirus relief bill will dramatically change many low-income families' lives over the next year. The bill is expected to pass the House today for a final vote before President Biden signs it into law. Once President Biden signs the latest relief bill into law, Washington lawmakers will have spent a record $5 trillion in less than a year. Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott maintained border security as a federal responsibility. The governor visited the Rio Grande Valley on Tuesday to meet with border officials about a recent influx in illegal immigrants and take an aerial tour of the border. During the visit, Abbott said Texas is working to clean up Biden's mess. President Biden will deliver his first primetime address Thursday, marking the anniversary of the start of the COVID-19 lockdowns. The speech gives Biden an opportunity to come out of hiding as Kamala Harris continues to field calls from world leaders. USA Radio News.
The following is a paid announcement. The advertiser was paid a marketing fee for a digital campaign. Please make sure to review our disclaimer on our report page.
The new year is here, and the time is now to capitalize on the EV stocks boom in the U.S. markets. The red-hot EV sector is on fire with no signs of slowing down. Here's just one example of what you can get with the information delivery system from Metals Industry Report. The electronic vehicles market could see a compounded annual growth rate of around 21.1% through 2026, turning into a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Text TECH to 48542 for more info on the EV market and to set your investment research strategy to hyper-growth mode now with your free subscription to the Metals Industry Report. If you're interested in our hit list of the hottest stocks to look at in 2021, then text the word TECH to 48542. Text now to get your free subscription from Metals Industry Report. We deliver the data directly to your mobile device so you can make decisions as market conditions change. Text the word TECH to 48542. Text TECH to 48542.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Think you know Dex Imaging? Think again. In the office, streamlining communications. In the field, delivering top-notch service, enhancing productivity, and reducing downtime. In the data center, a part of the growing digital document revolution. In the world of business, supporting entrepreneurs and helping companies grow. In the forefront of technology, developing cutting-edge document management solutions. So if you think you know Dex Imaging, you don't know Dex.
What you need is RoofMax. RoofMax is a revolutionary green roofing solution that can save you $10,000 or more by greatly extending the life of your existing roof. Here's how it works. Asphalt roof shingles have essential oils to keep them flexible and waterproof. Over time, this oil dries out, causing your roof to become brittle and slowly break apart. A RoofMax treatment saturates your roof with millions of microbeads, restoring flexibility and continued waterproof protection. It's like a skin moisturizer for asphalt shingles. RoofMax treatments are guaranteed for 5 years, and repeating treatments can extend your roof's life for up to 15 years for a fraction of the cost of replacement. RoofMax uses satellite measurement software to provide a hassle-free, contact-free price quote over the phone in under 5 minutes. No in-person house call required. Get your instant quote by calling 352-639-2777. That's 352-639-2777.
Hey folks, Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens offers you more than a dozen different types of fruit trees at super low prices. So listen up. Bob has blueberries, grapes, peach, banana, mulberry, avocado, guava, pineapple, and more citrus than I can name. Prices start at 2 for $12 on blueberries. Hurry in for the best selection. Also this week, Bob breaks his own low price barrier on red Formosa and Lantana Gold Azaleas at just, now get this, $2.99, and large sizes are available. Knockout and drift roses, they're still just $24.99. And of course, Bob Wines is your place for spring veggies. The giant 4-pack, still just $3.99. Check inside the garden center for new and exciting items, many marked down 20%. Be sure to check BobWinesCameliaGardens.net for doorbuster specials. Bring your walking shoes to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street in Ocala, in the same blooming place for going on 70 years.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth. The only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. Twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person. It's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Wednesday. Galen Unall from Life South, brought to you by Penn Flooring. Family owned and operated for over 30-plus years in Marion County. They do commercial and residential. Go see their showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street in Ocala, or give them a call, 352-351-3420. Also, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center brings us Galen Unall every morning. They're located at 2734th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions how Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center is handling the COVID-19 pandemic, give them a call, 352-854-6262. Galen, I got to make you eat crow a little bit here now. It was announced yesterday against what you thought would happen, that Levante David has re-signed with the Buccaneers. You said he was probably gone. We talked about this about a month ago. You said you didn't see him re-signing. Well, he re-signs with the Buccaneers, 2 years, $25 million. That's $12.5 million a year. But really, it's $10 million a year because 20 of the 25 is guaranteed. And in the NFL, you only worry about guaranteed money.
Well, and that's a pretty friendly deal. I thought he could have gotten more than that, the open market. But I think, again, it just goes to show you that when you win, people want to be associated with winners. And he just stayed. I'm a little surprised. And then I also heard that they're working on signing Shaq Barrett. And
yes,
if they and then they of course they franchise tag Chris Godwin. That means they're keeping the three guys. I thought they had no chance out of that. I thought they would keep one. This team's going to be pretty good next year. And it sounds like they're going to have the core back. And then you look at all the young athletes they have on the back end of that secondary that can only get better. The future's pretty bright next year for the Bucs.
How much, and, there's no way of really knowing unless you're in the locker room, but how much influence do you think the GOAT had in saying, hey, look, we got this, we're winning, maybe you're not making $16 million, maybe you're only going to make $12.5 million, but look, I did that for 13 years of my career. I took less money than quarterbacks should take, and look how much I won. That's how you do it to keep everybody together. And, because I know he had conversations with players in New England that would be like, is there really a difference between 13 million and 15 million? Come on, there's not that much a difference. You're a millionaire multi times over. I know he had that conversation with players in New England. How much of that do you think took place in Tampa?
Well, he never, and they talked about that. Tom Brady never had that conversation with other players. Other players had that conversation because of Tom Brady.
Right,
because
exactly.
They want to play. Look, I can win here. If I end up in let's say, Tennessee, I can't win there. But I can win in New England, and winning's important. You look at Dak Prescott's contract that he signed yesterday, and that is going to cripple that organization until it's done. You can't give one guy that much money and that percentage of the salary cap and still surround him with talent. Tom Brady is one of the cheapest free agents of all time, and he has the ability to go get a guy like Gronk. And Levante David would not have stayed if they hadn't won the Super Bowl, and they would not have won the Super Bowl without Tom Brady. Because there's all this talk that when they were struggling in November, that Tom Brady would text in the group chat about how we're on the brink and keep fighting and all this positivity. And let's be clear, if it were you and me saying it, nobody in that locker room would believe it. But if it comes from Tom Brady, you're like, yeah, well, that guy knows what he's talking about. I got to listen to him.
That's what he used.
That's powerful.
That's what he used. What did Chris Godwin that wore to 12 before Tom Brady got there?
Sure.
I think Godwin wore 12, and that's the conversation Tom Brady had to procure the number 12 was, look, you give me the number 12, I guarantee you we're winning the Super Bowl this year. Godwin goes, how do you not give the number up when the guy who is the greatest of all time says, you give me my number, I guarantee we'll win the Super Bowl. And then guess what? They went out and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and again, this is a guy, and what I'm always fascinated with is how every player in the locker room talks about how relatable he is and how Tom Brady's just another guy. Tom Brady is not just another guy. First of all, his wife is worth billions, right? As a supermodel.
Yeah, he's the secondary money in the life.
Right. He got sponsorships from companies like Uggs, right, and Aston Martin, and Rolex, and not Rolex, the other one.
Tag Heuer.
Omega, right? Watches, which you can't get one for less than $5,000. So, it's the same watch that James Bond wears. And those are his sponsorships. He's not out there hawking Papa John's at Subway, and
Did we lose Galen? Galen, are you there? I think we've lost Galen,
Just another model.
Galen, are you there? Well, we lost Galen, hopefully he'll call back in. Galen, call back in. We lost you. Galen went away. Something about Tom Brady hawking better things, and then he went away. It's one of those cell phones being what they are, folks. Live radio. We'll try to get him back. We'll try to get Galen back on to finish his thought. But, he's right. Tom Brady got opportunities that he wouldn't normally have because of Tom Brady got opportunities he would never had, Galen, because of being married to one of the greatest supermodels on the face of the planet.
Well, he had won 2 Super Bowls before he got married, but that definitely helped. It allowed him to say money isn't the only thing that drives me, right? He was, and by the way, his first child is with another supermodel, so he's got 4 kids by 2 different supermodels.
Right. Yeah. And this is a chubby 12-year-old. Remember the pictures of him as a chubby 12-year-old?
Sure.
But you're right.
Plastic surgery and 7 Super Bowl rings will solve a lot of problems.
There's a lot that can be said.
I would look sexy.
There's a lot
with both of those things.
There's a lot that can be said for people who just are able to go and look you in the eye and say, look, we're going to win. I guarantee it. We're going to win. Yeah. Think about the conversation Joe Namath had, because remember he said, we're going to win the football game. I guarantee it. Sure. Think of what he had to face when he walked back in that locker room, knowing that they were the underdogs and everything. And Joe Willie was like, fellas, we're winning this football game. I meant that. This isn't something to be angry about. We're going to win the football game. Well, that's what Tom Brady does on a regular basis. We're going to win the Super Bowl. And by the way, 7 out of 10 times, is it 10 times now or 9 times? It's one of those.
He's been to the Super Bowl 9 times.
And 7 out of 9, he's been right.
Yeah.
He's lost twice to a guy. Well, let's not even start on the Eli Manning thing.
Well, one caught the ball with his helmet.
Yeah. How crazy is that? The only team he can't beat in the Super Bowl is the Giants.
Correct.
It's the only team. Hey, and by the way, do you know he's not part of one of the most elite clubs in football? One of the most elite clubs in football? Brett Favre, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, not part of that group.
To beat every team in the NFL?
To beat every team in the NFL. Tom Brady, not part of the group. Oh, and Joe Montana. There's 4 of them.
Right.
Because Montana beat San Francisco with.
Yeah, and if you look at where he lost the Super Bowl, he was the better quarterback in every one of them. So, it's unbelievable. I mean, he probably played his worst game against the Rams, and they won. What was that, 9-3 or something ridiculous? Yeah. It's pretty incredible.
Talking about pretty incredible, this week they tee it up again tomorrow. A year to the day, the last round of golf that was played before the shutdown. Last year, they got in the first round of the Players' Championship in Ponte Vedra, Florida. And then Friday morning, they announced Thursday afternoon that they would be canceling spectators for the rest of the tournament. And then they announced Friday morning that the tournament itself was canceled. So the Players' Championship is really, when you think about when America closed down, I go back to the Players' Championship. After the first round of the Players' Championship is when Florida shut down St. Patrick's Day. But America really, the shutdown become a real possibility when the Players' Championship canceled the tournament on Friday morning. One of the best golf tournaments, arguably the best field ever in golf every year. Some people go, well, no, nope, Masters lets amateurs in. Oh, the PGA lets PGA professionals in, but they could be club professionals. The British, no, it lets amateurs in too. The strongest field you will face, 49 of the top 50 players tee it up at the Players' Championship because it's only there for PGA professionals. And it's really one of those tournaments that a city, if you don't understand how much the 11th most populous city in the country, Jacksonville, Florida, how it shuts down basically at noon on Friday for this golf tournament, Galen. I mean, the memories, every time I talk about it, the memories just come flooding back to the point of where I remember even my father taking me to the GJO, the Greater Jacksonville Open, which was the precursor of this, which when you talk about the Players' Championship, Jack Nicklaus, they say, has won 3 of them. One of the 3 they count is Jack Nicklaus's win at the Greater Jacksonville Open. This is a golf tournament that really a city has wrapped its loyalty around and is really one of the premier events of the PGA season.
Well, and the reason is let's be clear. It's about the course. It is a course that has stood the test of time, right? You know, even though the hitters get longer, the course continues to be the star. Every year we talk about the course. We talk about 17. You know, we talk about the risk versus reward on that final stretch of holes between 16, 17, and 18. You know, there's no part of that golf course it's like, okay, that they're just trying to get through, make par here, you got a birdie here. No. Because in the back of their mind, they know that no score is safe because of the way those 3 holes finish. 18 is not easy.
No.
You know, 18, going into 18 with a 1-stroke lead is not easy.
I mean, 18 at TPC is not like the monster of 18 that is they just played, but it's close.
Yeah.
And it's almost designed the exact same way. It just doglegs the opposite way.
Yeah, but correct. But also what's great about that course is it's meant to be a stadium.
Yes.
And so
you can see everything.
Yeah, there's a little, it's not an island, but there's a little section where you could stand. I used to stand there for the PGA Tour Radio Network, where I could see the approach and the finish at 16. I could see all of 17, and I could watch the drive and approach from 18. And it was the best area. And there's another great part on the on 8, between 8 and 9, where you could see them. You could see the drive land, and you could see the second shot. You could see them finish at 9, and you could see them finish at 8. And there's all of those little spots all throughout the golf course where you could just sit and watch 3 or 4 holes at a time. And that you may think, oh, that's no big deal. You go to Bay Hill, you see 1 hole at a time.
Right.
Unless you're on the link section where you can turn around, and if there's not a huge gallery, you can see the other side.
Well, there's a spot right there by the 10 tee box where you can get up on the hill just to the right of the 10 tee box. You can watch the drive on 10, then turn your body halfway around and watch the drive on 16. It's just right there. And while that's a prime spot, is the bathrooms at the bottom of that hill.
Yeah, and it's such a great course, but the course is always at the center of attention in that location.
If you had to,
the par 3s.
Yeah.
But
if I had to put you,
I was just going to say
Go ahead, par 3s.
But I was just going to say they're the best set of par 3s in all of golf.
Oh, without a doubt, and some of them don't get credit because 17 takes all the credit. No, what is it? Number 6? It's a par 3. I think it's 6.
I'm doing the math. Yeah.
Yeah, number 6 is par 3. Yeah. That's no easy par 3. But people
not at all.
People think 17's this bare. 17's only 135 yards, folks, to the middle of the green.
It's the pressure that's evolved around 17 because of where you're at on the course. It's not the shot itself. And by the way, I've hit that tee shot several times. You get there and you're like, this isn't that big a deal, and then you're like, you stand over it and you're like, God, don't choke it. You may never get to play this hole again in your life.
I played it. I played it 3 times. 0-3.
Really?
0-3.
Oh, I've never hit the water there. So I've played. I don't know.
I've had it left it short twice, and airmailed it the 3rd time.
Yeah.
But the exact replica of it at
6 is a par 4.
It's
8. 8 is the 237.
Yeah, that's the 200. Yeah, it's like 240 yards. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's surrounded by bunkers, and it's that 2-tiered green.
It's 8.
Yeah.
Well, now 17. I will tell you this: the exact replica of 17. Anybody can play 17 without playing TPC.
Right.
You can go to the World Golf Village, the World Golf Hall of Fame, and for $10, you can try to make a hole-in-one. If you don't make a hole-in-one, they give you a print of whoever got inducted in the Hall of Fame that year. But if you do make a hole-in-one, now I don't know if this is the prize now, but I do know the last time I played it 6 years ago, it was a prize. If you made a hole-in-one, you got badges, 4 week badges to the Masters.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They've only gave that prize away. When I was there 6 years ago, the prize had only been given away once since they had offered it.
Sure.
So, you know, but you can play it at the World Golf Village. But if I had to put you on the spot, we got about 7 minutes, 8 minutes, so we can get this in, me and you.
Yeah.
What if when I say TPC, what's the first memory that pops up? Because you've been there a lot.
So probably my greatest memory, and this was as a fan. I'm in college, and Steve Albright and I get an invite from his dad that he's going to TPC, and he's got 2 tickets for us. And so I'm a sophomore at Flagler, and I wasn't working the media that day, and so we go to we go to the TPC with Big Steve, and there was like 6 of us. And so me and Big Steve started drinking Bloody Marys at about 9:30. At about 1 o'clock, he and I and he was such a great guy. And by 1 o'clock, I think we had been told by our own group that we needed to leave because we were laughing so hard that the marshals came over and told us to go away. So yeah, that's the memory I have, and you know, and that spending that day with Big Steve and Steve Albright and all that, and that's the memory I share. But those Bloody Marys were unbelievably good at TPC.
The first thing that comes to mind, and I went with my dad. I did a lot of things, but the first thing comes to mind when I think of the TPC was the day. And I knew I had arrived then. That's when I knew I had arrived in this business, is the day that I went to the parking garage, parked my truck, got out, put my lanyard on, and the guy goes, I get to the thing, and he goes, can I help you with your bag, sir? We're supposed to help the media if they need people to carry stuff. And I was carrying at the time because, you know, back then you did dial up and everything. So I'm carrying like 6 cases with headphones and, you know, the phone jack. And I go, wow, is he talking to me? It was that first experience where I was like, he means me when he says media member, do I need help? I knew, because as a kid growing up, all you wanted to do was be able to go to this tournament and talk about this tournament. That was what I wanted to do. And here I was. Chris Doring had called Chris Reimer, because Doring and Chris Reimer, who's head of PGA media relations. Yeah. Reimer and Doring grew up together in Gainesville. People don't know Chris Reimer's from Gainesville. So Doring had called in because Doring and Brady had bought the radio station at the time, Brady Ackerman. And they'd called. I got my credentials 3.5 days before the tournament started. Chris made a phone call. Boom, credentials. I thought, this Chris Doring guy's pretty good. He's pretty good. But that's my...
And then he took his shirt off.
That's always. That's always. The shirt's coming off and he's flexing. Hey, I had somebody text me, and they wanted to rub this in, although I've been to this tournament numerous times. I don't know if you've ever been.
Yeah.
But my good friend says, well, at the Masters... You can watch them putt 11, play 12 and 13, and drive 14, all in the same place. 100%.
Yeah, well, I've never been there.
You can be right there at Amen. You can be at Amen Corner and watch it all right there.
I'll take his word for it.
No.
Never been there.
Yeah, well.
Nobody's ever given me badges.
I hadn't been there since 2012. That was the last time I was there.
That's terrible.
Well, I had a friend of mine, Robert Long. He was a fraternity brother of mine and all. He's actually the head pro and director of golf at King and the Prince up on St. Simon's. His mom was head of accounts receivable at the National. So, you know, if you live in that part of South Georgia, there's a chance you know somebody who knows somebody, and you can at least get into practice rounds, no problem.
Well. I don't know anybody.
So, well, you know, it is. I will tell you this: as you walk onto the grounds at the National, the first thing you do after you go through the security checkpoint, where they make sure that you don't have a phone, and if you do, they make you lock it in a locker outside the grounds.
Right.
The first thing you see is you come around the corner and you turn the corner. You know, you got the fence that blocks everything out. You turn the corner. You're walking down a road right beside the driving range as you enter the property. And the one thing that strikes you as you see this driving range is that driving range is nicer than any golf course I've ever played in my life.
It's where you like, if you take a divot, you feel like, oh gosh, I gotta fill that in.
Yeah, you see the guy out there. You see the guy out there with the cart, and he's sweeping up the golf balls, and you're like, dude, what are you doing out there on a cart? You're hurting the grass. What are you doing? The best golf course in our area, arguably the best golf course in our area, is Golden, Ocala. Okay, let's just put it out there. They
Sure,
just had a LPGA
it's not
event.
a doubt.
Arguably, it's the nicest golf course in our area.
Sure,
it's not even up to the driving range quality at the National. Wow. That's how good the and look, this is a place that if you run, they tell you no running, or if you walk fast, no running. They tell you once, you're escorted off the property the second time.
It's unbelievable. Well, it's Augusta. They're patrons.
I'll tell you a funny story before we let you go. My buddy Rick Stillwell went. He's my buddy now. We became buddies because he wrote in as a listener to the show, and Buddy Martin had badges and sent me with 2 listeners to the Masters in 2012. WOCA, no other radio station did that, but sending people to the Masters. So Rick Stillwell's the listener. We're buddies now, but after once he won. So this guy, Rick Stillwell, and I go, and so we're in line. We've watched maybe 2 or 3 holes of golf. We're in line, and we go and we get a couple beers and we get a couple sandwiches and a chocolate chip cookie. And Rick says, hey, man, I appreciate you and the radio station getting me here. This is a dream come true and all. I got this. The first round is on me. And I said, well, that's very gracious of you. That's nice. So we get up there, and the lady rings it all up, and she goes, $17. He goes, no, I got all this. She goes, yeah, I know, it's $17. He goes, whoa, 2 beers, 2 sandwiches, 2 cookies, $17? She goes, yes, sir, $17. He turns to me without batting an eye and go, I got the tab all day.
That's awesome.
Yes,
that's good stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, today we're right there at the Walmart out in the shores, our favorite place during all this mess. But come see us on the Boulevard, 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard, and donate blood, give the gift of life, and we really need you. That's the bottom line. We're in critical need of everything. Galen
from Life South, brought to you by Palm Garden Health Rehabilitation and Penn Flooring. Galen, if my back holds up, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, be good. Bye, all.
Galen, joins us as he does every day, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.